Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and we're going to take a little bit of a different style with this one, but today we're going to talk about Pavel Durov, the founder of Telegram, and what you can learn about entrepreneurship from him. So that being said, we're going to do kind of more like a day in the lifestyle thing. The Lamborghini is in the shop because someone closed my door and there was like rattling in the door, so I sent it to the service center, and hopefully we get that back after Labor Day weekend, because as we're filming this, it is the weekend, 3-day long weekend. So we're going to jump in the Aston Martin. This was the first supercar that I bought back in 2022. It is, I think, the best supercar that money can buy for the price. And we'll jump in, and I think I'm going to do a review of this at some point in the future. But we're going to talk about today a lot of different things when it comes to overall business and success. It's not going to be as hyper specified as the other videos that I've done over the past few days, like in sales and marketing, competitive advantages, and those types of things. This is going to be more general, but you're going to be able to learn a lot from this video, and I'm super excited for you to get this information. So if you've been following the news recently, you'll know that Pavel Durov was arrested in France. He just recently got released. He, I believe, posted bail for about $5 million, and we don't know what's going on with his situation. But yesterday, I was on Twitter, and I saw that this guy, some account, he posted this long post about how Pavel Durov is a shitty entrepreneur and his first business was a copy of Facebook for Russia. And I sat there and I read it, and it led me to thinking, because I actually quote tweeted it, and it led me to think that most people do not understand that your success as an entrepreneur is literally based on your ability to copy. The easiest way to get rich and the easiest way to make money and the easiest way to start a business is to simply take what works and make it yours. Whether it's the delivery of it, whether it's the product, whether it's you're just simply siphoning market share, literally like I'm doing here on YouTube from all of these idiots who don't know what they're talking about. The easiest way to get rich and the easiest way to go into a business, there's a million Italian restaurants, and I'll use this one as an example. There's a few other examples I'll give you here. An Italian restaurant. Let's say there's one Italian restaurant that opens up next to the other Italian restaurant. They have similar food, but one has prettier waitresses and the other one has better prices. And basically people want to pay for quality, so the one with the more expensive items, it makes more money, even though the other one is focused on traffic. These are the same exact businesses. They didn't reinvent the wheel. It's the same exact menu, it's the same exact food. They didn't reinvent the wheel. They just simply opened up next door and tried to take market share. You see this with gas stations a lot. We're about to go by. There's a gas station right here. There's a gas station up the block here. And similar prices, same exact business, different companies, right? And because of the law of competition, they're strategically placed next to each other so that they can siphon market share due to the level of traffic that is in the area. Now, if you have an idea or you see something that's working, and this was literally like my first business, you see something that's working, and literally with the agency business when I got started, you see something that's working and you take it and you make it yours. Even before I was an entrepreneur, literally right after I quit my corporate sales job, I went to Europe and I was in Naxos, Greece. And Naxos is one of my favorite places in the world. I hopefully want to have a property there soon. And I met with a guy who is one of the biggest entrepreneurs, and he's a friend of mine, and they do about $10 million a year in revenue, and a lot of it is the bulk of it during the summer. So he owns a liquor company, he owns a few restaurants, a few nightclubs, things like that. And I asked him, I said, what made you successful? And like I said, this is before I ever got into business. And what he said was that he was all around the world. He saw so many different things. And he was in Portugal, he spent time in Italy, he spent time in Miami, New York, all over the world. And he took the best parts of what made those places, whether it was the food, whether it was a vibe, whether it was just something, an idea. And he took it home and he put it there and he made it his. He has one restaurant that's a Spanish influence. He has another restaurant that's an Italian influence, which is one of my favorite restaurants in the world. And there are quite a few other businesses that he has, but it's that same idea of taking it and iterating on it and making it yours. Now, Pavel Durov made a Russian version of Facebook as his first business, and it was successful because all he did was figured out, okay, this is not available here. People want this, because if something is successful in one part of the world, it's probably going to be successful in other parts of the world as well. So you have to remember that humans are the same. Whether you're selling to English speaking people, whether you're selling to Croatian speaking people or German speaking people, it doesn't matter. Arabic speaking people are the same, and people like similar things because human nature is the same. And this is something that I want you to understand because it makes doing business a lot easier. I have a lot of followers specifically on Twitter who are from other countries, and they might not speak English as a first language, but what they don't realize is because so many of these shit munchers are just pushing this down their throat where you need to sell to Americans, you need to sell to Americans. You want to realize that you can sell the same services or the same things in your own language because those businesses exist in your country as well. Like, I've been to Eastern Europe, I've been to Poland, like there are medical spas and all of these different businesses in Poland and in Austria and Germany and all of these, every single country, because people need these same services. So what you don't want to do is limit yourself to a marketplace where you're at a disadvantage. Because if you're at a disadvantage in the marketplace, what ends up happening is you simply you get outcompeted by smarter people, by people who are more competent than you, just because you're playing to your weaknesses and not playing to your strengths. And this is something that I'm a big proponent of, which is playing to your strengths and not your weaknesses. Because you should never be doing anything that you're not fully in alignment with. I will never become an astrophysicist. I failed calculus in college, and I had to literally ask the guy, hey, can you just pass me so I can just get the hell out of here? I'm not the best with that, but now computers do the math for me. So I know for a fact I'll never be an astronaut or I'll never be an astrophysicist. The only way I'm going to the moon is if I make enough money to buy one of Richard Branson's plane tickets or Bezos or Elon's plane tickets. So even that's another good example. Elon Musk, SpaceX, and Blue Origin, and how Bezos was trying to compete. I saw this because I was living in Dubai for a while last year. You see this in Dubai. Careem and Noon, which are two of the biggest apps on the marketplace, they're delivery apps. They're literally Uber, where they have everything. They have taxi services, groceries. You can even send money abroad to your family. You can basically do everything. You can hire cleaners to come clean your villa or clean your apartment on Careem. Now, what they did is they're just competing in this marketplace, and Uber has a hard time in the Arabic marketplace just simply because Careem and Noon are a thing. And so there's also Deliveroo. So there's a few different companies that compete in this marketplace, but they're literally the same business as Uber. They took the business model, they took the concept, applied it to their marketplace, they improved the product, they made it better, and they captured market share, and now they're a multi-billion-dollar company. So keep all this stuff in mind because you can learn so much from what other people do. When you see something is working, and you see something is working within the zeitgeist or the market cycle, I spoke about that in my prior video. And when you see something is working, if you're able to capitalize on it, if you have that first mover advantage, which is essentially you just coming into a marketplace early, you're going to make more money than if you obviously come into the marketplace late, but you're going to make more money because you're just simply seizing the opportunity. You're recognizing an opportunity. It's the same thing Pavel Durov did with the Facebook clone that he made. He actually probably took that idea and then realized that there was a massive opportunity for Telegram. And now Telegram is a multi-billion-dollar company. He's a multi-billionaire. And so you can learn a lot about entrepreneurship by simply studying what people do and not only what they say. Because if you look at what people do, you're going to get an understanding of how things worked out. You can look at history. You can look at how things worked out and what it did and how it was successful, how it was unsuccessful. Recently, we've actually been watching a little bit of TV. We watched a few episodes of the Spotify Netflix show about how the Swedish guy started Spotify. And all they did was capture market share from Pirate Bay back in the day. Their entire business model was capturing market share from Pirate Bay and figuring out on the back end a way to monetize it. If you are in a position where you can drive traffic or you can acquire customers, whether that's outbound sales, whether that's some sort of content production, whether that's paid ads or paid traffic, what's going to end up happening to you is you are going to be able to be successful by simply siphoning market share. I did a big rant on Twitter yesterday where I was talking about Calendly and how Calendly is worth $270 million and it's a really shitty product. And I don't care if I get banned off of the Calendly platform because their product is really shitty. But $270 million, if you were to capture just 1% of that marketplace or 1% of their customer base, you would make $2.7 million. And so even if you capture a fraction of that, if you capture half a percentage of that, it's $1.35 million. So there's so many ways to make money and there's so many ways to get it. What I want you to understand is that all you need to do to be successful is take a business model that works. There's a million different agencies out there. There's a million different service providers out there. And all you need to do is just have a simpler process, a better offer, and you need to be more competent than everyone else in the marketplace that you're competing against. And also, we used to have a saying where when I used to play lacrosse was, you don't need to be the best in the world, right? Like we didn't need to be the best team in the world. All we needed to do was be better than the people that we're playing against that day. So we just got here. We're going to grab some coffee now. But all of these lessons I want you to understand, because this is really, really, really important. If you're able to recognize and capitalize on these market opportunities, what's going to happen is you're going to be a lot more successful than everyone else who's just sitting there trying to do the same thing. Capitalize on everything and keep moving forward. So let's go grab some coffee. Guys, thank you for watching this far in the video. If you haven't already, make sure you click the link in the description, get access to the passive cold call sales script. I also added in a full course that's a sales 101 course, and it's me breaking down my entire process of how I was able to generate $40 million in total deal volume by the time I was 24 years old while I was still in corporate sales. And it's the same process that I used to build the entire ecosystem and all the businesses to this day. And also, if you're running an agency or you're looking to get into the agency business, go ahead and make sure that you sign up to my software Synthesis. It's going to help you service your clients, it's going to help you make more money, and it's going to help you make them more money and get you paid because you're able to systemize and automate a ton of stuff. We're building out a ton of new features, and we're going to actually be calling everyone that signs up to Synthesis to get their feedback and make sure that we build out the best product possible for you to service your clients and for you to run your business and make more money. So thank you guys for watching the video, and I will see you in the next one.